Welcome back. It's another episode of The Last Word on Rugby. We've been away for a bit. Some of us had a decent break, but back to tackle what's ahead. And ahead of us, a weekend of proper United Rugby Championship quarterfinal battles. Currently, the Stormers preparing at DHL Stadium for their rematch against Cardiff. And then, of course, the Lions. I think they have the big one of the weekend over in Dublin playing Leinster. But the Bulls at home, also the first game on Saturday, taking on Munster. Another proper revenge clasher, that one up at Loftus Versfeld. With me today to chat URC quarterfinals and how the playoffs could play out, John Goliath. We're going to take you through what we feel this weekend will bring. And then, yeah, we have to make some predictions when it comes to those games. If you haven't yet, click that like button on our channel at the Clutch ZA. And then share this video as we look to bring you the latest insights. Of course, there's some box stuff that we also need to touch on later on. So stay tuned for a packed episode. John, welcome back. It's been a lekker break away from rugby things, but now we in the end game, as they say in the Marvel universe.
The end
Things are
game.
coming to an end for certain teams after this weekend in the URC.
Yeah, and we are obviously hoping the South African teams they can be left standing once Thanos snaps his fingers. Um, and I think at the moment we can probably confidently say that two of the teams are favorites in their respective
Mm,
matches to make the semifinals. But then I think the one that we probably going to focus on, the Lions versus Leinster, that is going to be an interesting game where I think it's not as cut and dry as we think it could be, especially after Leinster coming off a brutal Champions
that
Cup
was
final,
brutal, yeah.
the disappointment of that, and now they've got to pick themselves up for another big match while the Lions have been laying there in Ireland, preparing, preparing properly for this match. They've had basically 2 weeks to get themselves sorted, and yeah, I think they will be ready.
Yeah, look, I agree with you that the Lions are lying in waiting there for Leinster, but also we have to look at the missing Krappie, that itch,
Yeah,
and then Ruan Venter and
Inter
Asa
as
and
well.
Klabakanye. So
Three big players for them.
three big players, three Springboks. And like you said, yes, they've been training for a long time and they've been training in those conditions of Dublin. So they will be ready for what the game presents. But without those three guys, yes, like I see a tough game for the Lions here. But obviously, everyone here in Cape Town are rooting for the Lions because if Leinster falls out, the Stormers will take that second spot in terms of getting a possible home semi-final. So, yeah, just those three names missing for the Lions. They are the confirmed missing guys. Big blows, eh?
It's massive blows. I think especially Krappis, he had a phenomenal season at the back of that Lions pack. Just a calming influence and a guy I think whose rugby has gone from strength to strength over the last 18 months in terms of his all-round game. He's become a fantastic player. And to lose him is going to be really tough because he's one of those, also one of the leaders in the team, a guy that takes him forward, makes great decisions. And then you've got a Ruan Venter, who I for sure would have thought he would have featured for the
For
Springboks
the box, yeah.
somewhere this year. He's just had a phenomenal season. A versatile player who can play lock, he can play in the back row as well. and he's a massive blow. And then obviously with
Assas,
Klabakani,
yeah,
who's just been, yeah, it's I mean that is a, we can talk about that probably for an episode on its
yeah.
own, the merits of his ban and the harshness of it as well.
Mm,
But the Lions, they this is the time for them though to. I mean, there's a lot of players in that team
mm.
who will be pushing for Springbok selection as well. And if you want to show that you can take your game to the next level, then there's no better opponent than Leinster to show that, look here, Umarasi, I'm putting up my hand now.
You're right, yeah, you're right. And they are actually finishing off the weekend's game. So by by kickoff, they will know exactly what's happened, and they could take their minds off of whether they need to travel back home for a playoff game, whether it will be in Cape Town or potentially at Ellis Park, who knows? Um, but they can just I just need them to go out and relax on the field. They had a proper blueprint that Bordeaux gave them in terms of just how to circumvent that rush defense of Jacques Nienaber. Mr. Blame It All on Me there in Dublin.
The four
And
guy.
then, yeah, the fall guy. And then just grab the bull, the Leinster by the horns and gooi milies, as they would say in certain parts of South Africa. But lastly, on the Lions side, it's great to see how Julian Redeling is the Lions scrum coach threw a few shots at the Leinster and Irish supporters after their sayings of Jacques and that he's the guy that's causing Leinster all these headaches. So it was good to see that some South African guys stood up for the former Bok coach.
Yeah, it's not the aging squad.
Yeah,
Um, it's not the form of the players. It's it's Jacques. It's
yeah,
Jacques. Blame it on Jacques. And yeah, that's, I think that's also fair play to Julian Redling. Is that you want these sort of things in a week leading up to
mm,
big games. That's what Jose Mourinho used to do in terms of those little jabs, little irritate people
yeah,
beforehand, trying to get them off their game. That's a like a psychological thing. But I think, yeah, it's definitely. And but when you look at Bordeaux, they just have class all over the
mm.
field, and they've got
That was
power, they've
brilliant.
got panache. And one thing that struck me about the Lions, especially in the last game against Munster, they created chances after chance,
Mm,
but it was just on the day, the decision making and the execution.
yeah,
That was a problem. So they can create opportunities. They have the ability to get around the rush defense. But for them, their biggest thing is execution. And
mm,
that's where we're going to look at a guy like Chris Smith. He won't have crappies inside of him this weekend. So it's the onus will fall on him to drive them all over the pitch and then
mm.
create those opportunities.
Yeah, yeah. A good line. You mentioned now Jose Mourinho. Good line. Looking at Leinster's defeats. Who he called was a specialist in failure. So yeah, they failed a couple of times now
Yeah, it's been
to win
hanging over
the
them now,
Champions
eh?
Cup. Yeah. So you
Properly,
can't blame Jock,
properly,
guys.
properly.
Bla-
Can't
yeah,
blame Jacques. It's been before Jacques.
yeah.
Jacques won the UFC last year. Oh, it wasn't him.
Exactly.
Sorry, it was
No,
Leo
no, no.
Cullen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't him. Every time Leinster wins, it's not Jock.
It's
If they lose, it is
it's
Jock.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Moving on from that big game, I feel the other big game will be in Pretoria at 1 o'clock on Saturday. It's the Bulls Munster game. You never know which Munster team will pitch up on a day. I mean they came here to South Africa, to Cape Town specifically. stadium that I'm currently sitting in, and what that's still a bleak day in Stormers history. Aiming for back to back, and then yeah, it didn't work out. So that's the kind of team
Basically,
that the
one
Bulls will
kick,
be
one
facing.
one touch kick away that night from
Yeah.
from winning.
That's the
Now
type
Munster
of team Munster is, yeah.
and Munster, yes, if you look at them against the Lions, the way they played, and what impressed me is their ability to dominate the gain line with ball in hand.
Mm,
And then the quick recycling, and
yeah.
that's going to be for them. I think, especially in Pretoria, we think the weather's going to be good.
Mm,
It's going to be sort of ideal conditions for them to keep the ball in hand. But then again, it's altitude. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which is a bit better in winter than,
mm,
than 1 o'clock in January. But for me, the Bulls, and I think Marcel could see him mention it yesterday in the press conference, that they've been sort of inconsistent, especially at home.
at home, yeah.
But now the way they played away, and the sort of the game plan they played away, that is probably what we will see from them during these
Okay.
knockout games, where they will keep it tighter. And when
Mm,
you play that forward orientated game with Andre Pollard at the helm, then is when, a guy like Andre actually comes into his own, when he's allowed to basically go for those 50-22s, even try to win territory, and then
mm,
have, they use their big forwards, their big maul, which is a big strength of theirs, their scrum as well. And that's how you gain possession, when you win the set piece battles, and you get penalties, and then you get territory, and from there you get points.
yeah.
So for them, it's all about being clinical. We've seen in matches that they've dropped off quite a few times in the middle of matches. I think we can remember the game against the Stormers at Loftus, where
Yeah.
they, in 20-minute period, they just went to sleep. You can't go to sleep in a playoff.
Yeah. And that's been the problem for the Bulls, I think, right through the season in most of the games, apart now from that beautiful game they played against the Lions where they absolutely smacked them. But the fact that they just take their foot off the pedal, I mean, in that last game overseas as well, nearly cost them a victory that side. And it's just those instances that they will have to cut out come Saturday, 1 o'clock. Bit of a iffy time for a Pretoria kickoff. I mean, when you have Affies and Garsfontein and whoever's playing schools rugby, kickoff at 12:30. Um, then there's still club rugby, Naka Bulle, whoever
But
else.
but
Um,
seriously, the people must get to the stadium. It's a UFC playoff.
no, apparently ticket sales are not that good up in Pretoria. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. The
and
one o'clock kickoff
one
was
o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. So hopefully Pretoria wakes up towards
people are
Thursday, Friday.
people only wake up at 1 in Pretoria on a Saturday morning. Babalas,
Yeah,
Brandy
yeah, yeah.
Babalas.
But hopefully they can pack out Loftus because we don't want to see a blue. We we want to see a sea of blue at Loftus, but not a sea of blue
Yeah.
open chairs at Loftus.
Because
And then
that's
you
why
have
that's
a
why you play at home in a
yeah,
playoff. It's
and then you
important to get that
exactly,
home support.
and then you have
What's the, what's
Monster
what's the
prop
tickets like for the Stormers?
cheapest tickets for the Stormers, $90, and it is filling up the side of the world. I've bought about 7 tickets, 5 tickets for friends of mine. I bought them. Didn't ask for
Okay.
tickets, so don't
No
ask me if I
connections
have
there.
tickets. No connections. And then also some family friends also bought 7 tickets. So and it's not expensive. So yes, like but we're hoping
Yeah,
for
South
a
Africans must
pack.
rock up at the stadium. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
At
and and especially the Bulls, where it could be sort of uh, a big game and a last game for many of their stalwarts. We don't know what's going to happen after
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
They might have another game. I mean, Rowan Orke playing his 150th game for the
Yeah.
Bulls,
At
a
Loftus.
stalwart, and basically now probably the world's premier lock.
Mm.
At the moment, fantastic player. Vali Leroux, we not sure about his future. Is he still contracted to the Bulls for
Yeah,
next
I
season?
think he should be there still till the World Cup. So we will still
So
see
yeah,
Vali
okay, it's a
around.
bit premature to say goodbye to Vali now, but
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean it's so many good players in the Bulls
Mm,
team, and how they started the campaign or that dip they went through in the middle where
mm.
they lost seven in all competitions in a row, and from how they bounced back to actually get the
Precise.
quarterfinal has been good. So yeah, people need to rock up there.
Yeah, yeah. No, precise. And the the other thing is, I think the Bulls are going to put in a big performance because they know if Connacht can do them a good favor over in Glasgow on Friday, and Friday they will know exactly if they win that game in Pretoria, will they have to travel to Scotstoun again, where they've had
Mm.
success, good success, or will they stay at Loftus and have Connacht travel to them. So yes, like what an occasion for them to really stamp the authority on that game, and try and maintain a home semi-final. Of course, a a team that will be banking on the Lions is the Cape Town side. They're facing Cardiff, and it's a revenge match for them. A couple of weeks ago in Cardiff, they lost, and they lost the second place on the log, so not assured of a home semi-final at all if they do win on Saturday. So everything to play for the Stormers. They must get that revenge, but also they must fire to say that that loss against Cardiff were good on the day, was just them being off.
Yeah, that was probably one of the worst displays of the season, that last game against Cardiff. And I think if you had given them a choice at the start of the season, who would you like to face in a playoff? I think Cardiff would have been right up there. This is is basically is basically the team you want to play in a quarterfinal
Mm.
and playing them at home. So
Yeah.
there's going to be no 4G pitch. It's gonna be lekker weather. Apparently mid 20s this weekend. The weather's gonna be good. So the Stormers have got absolutely no excuse to put Cardiff away.
Mm.
You can't even compare the two teams on paper, man. So
Yeah.
that defeat there would have stung, and it's gonna hopefully get them into action this weekend,
Yes.
where um you would think that they would have enough firepower to sort of get over the line.
Mm. Yeah, and they're getting some firepower back. So Captain Ruan Nel is expected to be back in the 13 jersey, and I think they just look
Very
a better
important
team with
that.
him. Yeah, very
Um,
important switch out there. Not that Wandisa Milani let the team down, but the team just looks more assured on defense with Ruan manning that 13 channel, composed captaincy, and all of that. And then Siabelo Senatla,
oh,
flyer,
welcome
high ball
back.
specialist. Yeah, so there's lots to look forward to if it's a dry game. Oof, and I went outside to the stadium and grass is green. It looks in pristine condition. So all things point to a lekker 3:30 kickoff in Cape Town. We prefer 3:30 kickoffs and potentially 5 o'clock kickoffs, but 3:30, yeah, it's like prime time for Cape Town. And it means that you can sit till late and avoid any other traffic that's going out after the game. And you would still get home at a reasonable hour after the game. But then
It's
just things that I want to see in this game is I can't speak about the pack. That's they the most dominant pack in the competition when it comes to their scrums. They will have proper scrums, not 0 or 1 input on their own throw like that draw against Ulster where that 1 input, but the scrum wasn't even complete. And they couldn't use their dominant pack. Against Cardiff was a bit better, but scrumming on that 4G pitch is they don't like it.
it's a leveler.
So
It's a big
so yeah,
leveler that.
the pack's they are licking their lips, those guys. I wanna see magic in the back line. It, it it's been hot and cold, like literally hot
Yeah,
Stormers rugby at times, but then ice cold where they just look planless. And they
yeah.
need to be clinical against the Cardiff side come Saturday.
Yeah, selection is going to be very interesting for me this weekend because I know we had the Stormers the week before. They before they played Cardiff. I can't remember who they played now. That was that the game before Cardiff. They were exceptional in the way they created space and then got space and then went over the line to score. Sasha was also magnificent in that game. And then they just couldn't find that space
Yeah,
against Cardiff.
yeah,
For some reason, tried to force it a bit, which was not great to see. But for me, the who they're gonna play at scrum half is gonna be very interesting and could dictate sort of what game we see from them. Is it gonna be Imad Khan, um, who I think has been good. Uh, he may basically his basics can sometimes let him down, especially his box kicking. But
yeah.
I think
Very
he's been
important.
good. So if he starts ahead of Stefan Angere, we might see a bit of expensive play from the Stormers. Then Stefan Angere, who I think has also been inconsistent this year. He's been good in patches and not so good in other patches. So where we play because the Stormers are missing Kobus Reinach, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's been the biggest injury blow they've had, and they've had quite a lot of injuries.
Mm.
But it's good to see Sabelo Senatla back on the wing. That's somewhere where you feel like I mean they even had
They've been
Damien Willems
lacking.
on the wing. And for me, Damien Willemse must either play 12 or 15,
Mm.
not died out on the wing because of
Yeah.
his magical ball playing abilities. So having Senatla back, a guy as you mentioned, also fantastic in the air, and he's going to be chasing those high kicks.
Mm.
And without people blocking you these days, that is a crucial part of the game. So it's good to see him back.
Yeah. No, no, absolutely looking forward to an amazing game down here in Cape Town at 3:30 between the Stormers and Cardiff. Some hopefully I can go check out the last bits of their training on Friday before the kickoff on Saturday. So that update will also be really good.
Are they is all the teams announcing their team on Friday?
It's a Friday thing, yeah. So yeah, it's all the teams on Friday, all the South African teams. So we have to wait and see who's going in where. But I feel there won't be a lot of surprises in the
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, for the Stormers, the big one for me is do you go with Damien Williams at 12 and bring Wally Land back at 15?
Yeah.
I think that could be the big shout this week from Dobson. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting team selection.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Those combinations at the back, I think that's going to be critical for the Stormers and getting them right. Selecting the guys who are in form in their positions, and then firing from there to potentially run them into a semi-final. Hopefully, it's not a trip to Dublin, but the Lions flying down to Cape Town to take on
Uh,
to take on um, the Stormers. Yeah, it is the Lions. Um, Yeah, if we go ahead, before we go ahead, if you haven't yet, click that like button on our channel at the Clutch ZA on YouTube, and then share this podcast as we look to bring you the latest news on the South African rugby front. There's of course, John, a couple of what's it, a couple of days. It's not even a month anymore before the Springboks start their journey on the international front. Second alignment camp was dealt with in Cape Town. Now we wait for um, the first Springbok group of Rassie Erasmus. Obviously, we mentioned the injuries, the suspensions. Um, Two scrum halves gone, Kobus Reinach and Morne van den Berg. Do you potentially see some movement there with a new scrum half, or do we get to see the return of the Fafster?
Hey, I think we are going to see the return of the Fafster. That I can guarantee you now. With Reiner, a lot of experience. He's out. Moni van der Beer out. So I think we'll see the Fafster. Definitely we'll see him back. I've got a feeling that we've obviously Grant Williams. Is
He's
he
he's
will he be
returning
fit?
from injury. Yeah, yeah. It looks like he will be
Grant is
back. So
returning
that's
from
good.
injury. So I think those two will probably be the starters. And then I think we might see Hashim Pete.
Oh, not a bad
As a
shout.
as a guy who will feature in the third as sort of in the squad as a third scrum half. But then again, what about Ambrose Papier?
Hmm.
He's had a good season, a very very good season. I think um, what most people are saying is that it's because of his box kicking that he's maybe not been considered for
Hmm.
these alignment camps. But for me, he would probably be the best scrum half this season.
Yeah,
Um, and and if you think about it, um, if he can get that box kicking ready, he's probably the best broken play scrum half along with Grant in terms of getting if somebody gets back that possession and you play quickly from there, that is his sort of game. That is where he flourishes. But
yeah.
yeah, I think we'll see the Fafster back definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Look, Emmy got his call back now to the second alignment camp. So he finally got
Oh, he's
his
there, he's
flowers.
there.
Yeah, yeah, he was there. So
Uh,
we might see him back in the boxers as well. That will be so
yeah.
good to see. Because he's been fighting to get back into the squad. But then again, virtual alignment camp, Herschel Yankees was there as well. So Rassie is keeping his options open when it comes to that nine jersey. Obviously, there's Jaden Hendrikse as well. So it's not like
Yes,
they in crisis
sort of
when it comes to the
options.
nine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
Maybe,
basically have five players down in
yeah.
South African rugby. We've got
If
a
yeah,
crisis.
if yeah, if there's five down, we have a crisis, but there's five more who can take their spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant to see for the Springboks that they have that depth. I mean, we spoke about Bordeaux, their tight head prop, Carlos Sadi, um, won a title with them. So it's not as if there's with Frans Malherbe still out, Trevor, Vincent, reaching the backside of their careers. There's not an emptiness. Zachary Porton down here, in the Cape. So yes, like it's looking good for the box, and that bodes well for the start of the season, against the Barbarians, now in June.
I think if there's one position where you feel the box are maybe a bit short, it's hooker. If I think if you lose two of your top hookers, then you get to a situation where okay, this is now a bit of a crisis. If a Malcolm marks and the Grobbies goes down,
Ooh,
they say,
yeah.
okay, now we're in trouble. So that is probably the one position where they need to build capacity. And that's why I think this season Rassie might have
Crucial, yeah.
to make a big decision in terms of Jan Hendrik Wessels' future
Yeah.
about what is his
Where he goes, yeah.
where he's going to play. I still think he could be a superb hooker. He's got all the attributes. He's mobile. He's a strong scrummager as well. Um, because at Lucid, you now have plenty of options
Mm.
with Ox. You've got
He's
Tuk
Gerard,
Sukun. You've got
yeah.
Gerard. All
Juan,
basically can
yeah.
start on any given day. Can
Mm.
start on any given day with a box.
Yeah.
It's great to have Jan Hendrik Wessels as a sort of versatile player. But I think for me, if he can focus on hooker, and he could become a world-class hooker, definitely.
Yeah. I think that boat maybe has sailed at the Bulls because they've been playing Marco van Staden at hooker. So
Mhm.
maybe the
Yeah.
director from the box was to have Marco and Jan Hendrik and focus on Lucid. But yeah, it's interesting times for the box and the depth that they have looking at the new test season and ahead of the 2027 World Cup. We'll certainly touch base on more box stuff as the URC winds down. For now, the focus will be on the three South African sides playing in the quarterfinals, hoping to make it three out of the last four in the URC playoffs. John, thanks again for joining me today. We'll hopefully have a full complement back with the next episode, and we'll have a lekker bounce between the three of us, just where things went wrong or where things went right for the URC sides, and who played them into box contention and who played them out of box contention in the playoffs. Because we know Rassie wants guys to step up when the going gets tough. Otherwise, it's going to be tough going for you getting into the Springbok setup. If you haven't
Yes.
yet, click that like button on our channel at the Clutch ZA on YouTube, and we will be back next week with another episode of The Last Word on Rugby. John, thanks for joining again, and we'll chat next week. Cheers.
Thanks, Kopis.